This interface just is a gift that keeps on giving. I love this UI. I just want to look at it and make love to it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is probably my most anticipated game. I'm Lucas Olivieri, creative director of Loreworx gaming startup, and in this series I analyze upcoming games from a business perspective and a game design perspective, sometimes redesigning some of the interface elements in hopes that a developer might watch this and implement some of the changes. KCD2, we're going to nerd the F out in this video because this game UI needs to be studied by UI designers everywhere. I have goosebumps. It is the Mona freaking Lisa of UI design. We're gonna get sweaty. I am excited.
What's his name?
Henry. Oh, I love this map. I love this map. One thing that I can say about this map that I guess I would change, and this was a problem in the first game too. The map icons are just a little bit large. You can see this in this screen at the bottom here, where you have 3 map icons and they're all very close together. And I remember this being a problem in the first game where I would mouse over the icons. The game had a very hard time showing me the icon that I wanted. I don't know if this is going to be a problem in this game, but it was a problem in the first game. It's just beautiful though. It's work of art. This is where I'm going to start getting nerdy, Fernando. Modern game UI design is very safe and clean. Everything is sleek and unintrusive. And why is that? Because it works, not just in games, but in life. In every major website and app you spend time on, the UI is clean. You see, user experience will always be more important than user interface, and familiarity helps UX. A game's UI can look incredible, but if using it sucks, it won't matter. Stylizing a game's interface so it matches the theme of the game or the time period can be a risky move. The interface can become form over function and damage your experience. That's why Ubisoft doesn't risk it. Does this HUD look Japanese to you? Does this one look Greek? It may look generic, but it gets the job done. It will never win an Oscar, but it won't ever be nominated for a Razzie either. And that's why Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's UI needs to be a case study, because it demonstrates what a game sequel needs to do. Take everything that was right in the first game and double down on it and try to fix the negatives. This is the HUD in the first game. It gets the big things right. It's a first-person, open-world RPG, so it knows that interface needs to get the hell out of the way and let the game shine instead. If you think about it, every UI element in these immersive games is a fourth wall break. But it also suffers from being too form over function. Look at the health bar. 50% of it is useful. The remaining 50% are useless borders that are only here to make the UI look medieval. And because of this, your health and stamina bars are way too thin. The same happens on the compass. Half of this thing is unusable because of how thick these stupid borders are. We will see more of these form over function examples when we go over the inventory screen. But now let's compare the KCD1 HUD to the new HUD. Thick, useless bars are gone. Health bar is now much easier to see. The correct amount of importance is given to every element of this HUD, and they still manage to make it look medieval with much thinner borders. It's an incredible evolution. There's only one issue with it. You see this tile to the left of the health bar? It shows you the weapon you're wielding, and I believe it tells you the durability with a background color, but I can't be sure about that. If you're using a melee weapon, it's perfect, but if you switch to a crossbow, the game adds 2 extra bits of information, an ammo counter and an ammo type icon. And now we have an interface problem. There's just too much information inside such a tiny tile. The ammo counter is too small for PC players. It would be nearly impossible to see for console players. This is a great example of the dilemmas that UI designers have to deal with. This health bar is so elegant. When you change weapons, the tiles on the sides, they expand out like drawers. It's so symmetrical and freaking beautiful. So how do you show the ammo counter and the ammo type without hurting the symmetry and the harmony that you worked so hard to create? There's no easy solution that I could think of, so I created a few different options. And honestly, they all look worse, but UX will always trump UI. always. And if they don't change this, it'll certainly become a popular mod. Option A is adding a separate tile. It would only show if you have a ranged weapon equipped, but it messes with the symmetry. Option B places a counter and ammo type on the bottom of the screen, and in order to maintain symmetry, I added a potion counter to the other side. The game already uses this space to show the hotbar keys, and it helps UX when you use the same area of the screen. Option C is just like B, but the elements are on top of the tiles. This is for the console players with stupid TVs that like to crop a sliver of the game screen. And option D, I made the counter bigger and put it next to the ammo type icon instead of the opposite corner. There's no room for 3 digits, so if you have more than 99 bolts, you still see 99 in there, you hoarder. We still have the same number of elements inside such a small tile, but I think it's a better solution in the current version. There's a non-zero chance that the UI designers at Warhorse thought long and hard about this problem, and who knows, maybe you can help. Tell me in the comments which solution you prefer, or let us know if you think of something different.
The moral of the story here is that we finally understood that size matters.
Size matters in interface, yes, absolutely. I paused here because there's a bug in this video, and I love the fact that they let this happen. Look at the right side of the screen, all of the button presses are off, and they still posted the video like this, and I just love that they did this because it makes them so relatable. And it's the same thing with Larian. You know, when Larian does these gameplay showcase videos, they do it live, and it's filled with bugs, and it's so awesome. You could go on Premiere and literally just put the button PNGs there, but they didn't do it, and I just love them for it.
I'm gonna pull Raniak out.
Well, if
think
you
the
say so, but I wouldn't go
cutscene,
in
like the
there
dialogue
for a
timing,
golden
I think
pig.
needs just a little bit.
When I find him,
Just pull him out and search him.
You know, like Fernando, Fernando is a film director, and I've done acting. You know the feeling that you get when there are 2 actors in dialogue and it's a ping pong match? I'm getting this feeling here. It's just an issue of just timing. With a ping pong feeling, it's basically like when you go, I'll say my line, you have the ball now, and then you say your line. And it's this tiny little pause between the lines, between the replies, that just needs to be tighter to make it feel more natural. Nitpicking. All it is, just nitpicking.
I'm gonna pull Raniak out.
Well, if you say so.
Can we just appreciate the quest information? It's so good. It's using that black outer glow just in case you are in a lighter background. It's doing the Skyrim thing. It's like, okay, you did this part of the quest. Here's the next thing that you need to do. If you need more information, press J on the keyboard. We're going to show you the journal screen and you can see what you need to do again. Especially in a first-person RPG like this, where immersion is such an important priority of this game. The interface is not necessary, and if it's not necessary, there's one thing that you're playing the game for, and it's for the game screen. I don't need to have the quest information on the right side of the screen or left side of the screen at all times. All right, this is one of the only issues that I have with this Mona Lisa of interfaces. I have the impression that this loot screen is tucked between being a dedicated loot screen and a quick loot window. You know the quick loot panel that Bethesda has been using since Fallout 4, that also got a very popular mod for Skyrim? I feel like the KCD2 loot interface is a weird combination of that and what you get if you decide to open the loot screen in the Bethesda games. It's not small enough to be quick loot, and it doesn't commit to filling the left side of the screen completely to be an actual dedicated loot screen. So I designed a quick loot version of it. I tried to miniaturize it as much as possible without changing font sizes. I got rid of the equipped column and just placed the shield icon here. That allowed me to make the window smaller. I'm also not using a scroll bar, instead opting for a small gradient on the bottom. You would see there are more items without needing a scroll bar. Like in Bethesda games, you would see this pop up when targeting a body or a lootable container outside of combat, and the game would remain unpaused. But if you want to see the dedicated loot interface, you can press R on the keyboard. And this is the redesigned version of that larger loot window. By fully committing to being a larger loot screen and filling the left side, I can show you 3 extra items. In this case, 3 extra pairs of gloves, because you can never have enough pairs of gloves, and because I'm too lazy to hunt for different items in the video. I also centered all the elements in this screen. If you like the redesign, hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. We'll be super grateful and you'll be helping us make our game. This interface just is a gift that keeps on giving, but like positively, okay? I love this UI. I just want to look at it and make love to it. You would think that a freaking Fallout boy, a Vault boy character thing would not look good in a freaking medieval interface for a medieval game, but they managed to freaking do it and it works. This little freaking rabbit on top is an insane idea. I want to go back to the pitch meeting where someone suggested, can we have an Alice in Wonderland rabbit in our medieval UI? I would love to be there. Just listen to this ridiculous idea.
Fighting each other to death.
Not just that, it tells you when you're like in stealth and someone finds you. Like, it's such an amazing freaking idea. It's like, this could really work, or this could really suck. It's so cool, you know? It's this cute little touch that they put in. I love it. I love it so much that I would double down on it. Like, have it wear a Christmas hat in December, make it do something funny during Easter. Hell, I would totally lose my shit if it reacted to us hunting rabbits in the game. My mind is racing with all the possibilities. In game design, I can always tell that there was so much love put in the game by the smallest, tiniest little details. Look at the birds on that tower there. I don't know if that's a chapel or something. Look at the scaffolding that they have. Like, it's so detailed. The biggest problem with gameplay in KCD1 was after you got plate armor, there was no more game. Plate armor in the first game was God mode. No one could touch you anymore, which, by the way, is very historically accurate. However, with gunpowder, that changed. I want to give him props for solving the issue of the balance in gameplay after you get full plate with gunpowder weapons. Incredible solution, amazing. Anyway, moving on. I have a really good eye for visual bugs. It's part of my job. And I noticed a few tiny bugs in these videos. The horse poop mesh being slightly raised, making it look like it's floating. Same thing with the horses in this clip. And then there's this candle bug. One frame it's in, one frame is out. In and out of existence. And then the character's gonna get closer to it and it's going to actually solve itself. See that? If it takes more than 5 minutes to fix these things, it's probably not worth the time. But I notice these things. I can't help it. It's still a 10 out of 10, you know? Can you imagine gamers be like, can't play this game because the flickering of the candle is bugged. The rabbit is like, get out! I love that little rabbit. I would put that rabbit inside of like a collector's edition. This is actually a mod for a lot of games. When you loot things, you see on the left side of the screen, the corner, 3 items that you looted. Just 3 items, and then it shows you the next 3 and the next 3 until it's done showing you all the items that you looted. And again, using that black outer glow on the light yellow text and also on the white text, this UI just gets every unwritten rule right. So normally I would put this icon in the center of the screen, right? But there's a reason why it's not in the center of the screen, and that's because that's where the bunny lives. So that's why it's to the side, on the right side of the screen. And what is this thing here? Save your snaps. The goddamn potion you need to save the game. And this thing here is called a floppy disk. It's not medieval, but it's close. Anyway, I hate this save system, but thankfully mods exist. That said, I hope the game doesn't require you to actually drink the potion in order to save. I think it's a waste of a quick slot and you only have 4 of those. I would just have the game consume the thing automatically when the player saves with F5 or in the menus, then fire a notification showing how many are left. Oh, the codex. This might be the first game that I read a codex entry. I will never understand this design choice. The entire game is first person. You only go third person in dialogue, in cutscenes. For some reason, they also go third person when picking the herbs. Why? And not only is it super jarring because, like, look what happens. You are in first person and then it just goes, zooms out, and then you go back to your head. I cannot understand this. This animation is annoying, especially because in this game, I don't know if it's the same in this game, but in the first game, you wanted to pick the herbs because it would make your character stronger. It wasn't just for crafting potions. You would grind this stuff in the first game. Imagine doing that and going through like 300 of these stupid animations where you are first person, third person, first person, third person, first person, third person. It is so annoying. And so of course, the mod that came out that made it so that you would stay in first person when you were picking herbs, that mod became one of the most popular mods for KCD1. I have no clue why this is still in the sequel. Can we appreciate the rings on his finger? I want to just compliment the developers here because you don't have to model rings in RPGs. We're not expecting it to be modeled, but not only did you model them, you made them fat so that it actually makes sense that you're wearing them over the gloves. This is what I mean by you tell that a game is going to be great from the little details. It's the little details that tells me that this game is going to be absolutely an IGN 7. I'm kidding. Okay, let me just fall in love a little bit. Oh my God, it's a Da Vinci painting. This is like the most beautiful thing. I would just want to open the menus and just be in the menus. And if you look at this screen and what follows is the UI, the interface for the first game. And it's just night and day. This is not a horrible inventory screen. It is just screaming form over function. Heavily inspired by Sky UI, one of the greatest mods of all time. But a lot of this interface here, a lot of this inventory screen from the first game is just space being occupied by elements that give you absolutely nothing. And they're just there to serve the purpose of stylizing the game. What I was talking about here, Fernando, with like inventory, players, sidekicks, quest log, map, that in the second game is just a small, modern looking line bar at the very top of the screen, which gives you so much more room for what is this absolutely beautiful masterpiece of an inventory. I literally have goosebumps. Dude, I am nerding out so much from looking at this inventory screen from KCD2 that look at it. I don't know if it's on camera, but I literally have freaking goosebumps. And then the outfit presets, they're represented by the color shields inside of the inventory screen. You have the red shield and the green shield. There are two different outfits. And if you look at your character model on the right side of the screen, you can see the red shield and you can see the green shield, and the thing just rotates when you change the preset. Ugh, I can't. I'm gonna climax here, baby.
We gotta finish the video now.
We gotta keep this PG-13. I want to finish up with two quick things. The first game had something called helmet vision. It blocked part of your screen when Henry was wearing a closed helmet. After watching these 3 videos, I still don't know if that's still in the sequel. The mod that removed it in the first game was super popular. And speaking of mods, KCD1 had a really active modding community. I should know, I was a part of it. But it slowly died out because Warhorse Studios released modding tools at the very end of their roadmap. And by then, people had stopped playing the game, let alone modding it. There were modding teams planning to create Westeros inside KCD back then. I really hope they don't make the same mistake this time around because the potential is enormous. That was KCD2. I am ecstatic. I'm numb right now. Every time that interface showed up, I kind of like want its phone number is what I want. Do you have a game that you want me to redesign? Let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, then go watch this other video where I redesigned the Dragon Age Veilguard interface, and I was not very kind to that one.
And remember,
fun is business. And always drink and not drive.
Yes.
Yes. guys.